So much culturally used to happen in Washington Park in the early days, and it's great to see something come back to the community.
A community does thrive when art is present, and they brought in not only music, but there's been poetry, there's been photography, there's been sculptures.
When I think of arts in public life, I think of all of the events like Monday Night Jazz, the art exhibits.
Arts in public life, it means community, and it means art and a way to express yourself in a safe environment. When I was a resident artist here, I was able to have a space to make art, but also I was able to study and research at the University of Chicago, and I was able to share my ideas with the community here in Washington Park. It really helped me establish who I am as an artist.
They're really, really passionate about getting this work and making sure that these voices are heard.
I love them for everything that they do and how they work with collaborators, and they feed your ideas and help you bring them into life.
I have partnered with Arts in Public Life as a performer, as a business owner. I've partnered with as a mom. It's really huge for makers and artisans to be able to share their goods with the people and really the people in their community. For me personally, this is where I feel like my business and creating the community surrounding my business kind of jumped off.
It has given artists who are creatives somewhat of a brick and mortar to sell their items and to bring them to the community. So you have the community coming out. Now they have somewhat of a retail space that they can shop in.
Well, I guess it's sort of inherent in the name, arts, public life, right? So those three things are sort of what we're focused on, and like how do those things come together? One of the things that sort of drew me to APL and made me interested in teaching for APL is like the care that they have for community. I see a lot of the back end work that goes into planning for programs, and just like the amount of care that goes into, what is it that the community values, what is community needs. The fact that we're sort of taking in people from the community to teach the youth from around the community. How do teens understand design? Or like how do teens use design to understand their lives?
It has had a resounding effect on the community, and it's free, which is like great.
To have an organization make it their priority to focus on Black and brown creatives, I think is very important, and it doesn't go unappreciated.
That feeling of community, intergenerational connection, and taking things kind of like beyond the block, but also, bringing it here, right here in my community.
It's a safe space for the people to come and learn about art, but also to offer their own stories about how they contribute to Chicago.
One of the many pillars of arts and public life is creative entrepreneurship. As a way to support a growing network of Chicago creative entrepreneurs, APL created the L1 Creative Business Accelerator program in 2020. This program strengthens the capacity of the Southside's cultural sector and removes barriers to entry. L1 is intended for ready-to-scale small business owners who have already developed a customer base and product line that is relevant to or well-received by Southside consumers. L1 is a great example of creative reuse projects, redeveloping vacant properties and restoring them for public use as art spaces. 319 East Garfield is the first commercial space operated by Arts and Public Life. Through a partnership with the Chicago Transit Authority, we renovated a shuttered CTA station and transformed it into a 700 square foot retail shop. Fun fact, this is the oldest station in the entire CTA system, built in 1892 for the 1893 World's Fair. During their time in residency at L1, our creative entrepreneurs are invited to participate in a varying range of vending opportunities, design their own public programs, and participate in arts markets such as APL's Vins and Vibes. The L1 program is a 10-month fellowship program developed in partnership with Proximity, the urban planning and social impact arm of the Silver Room Foundation, plus resources in collaboration with the U Chicago Polsky Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. L1 residents receive access to top individuals in the field of real estate, trademarking, financial advising, and more as a way to learn about owning and running a retail business. Residents also participate in discussions around marketing and how to network to grow their businesses. Once accepted into L1, residents move into the store and onboard in February. During this time, residents will work to develop the store layout and overall vibes, as well as begin stocking the store with their products. The L1 doors officially open in March. The store is open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And every July, L1 residents participate in L1's largest marketplace, Vins and Vibes. The residency closes and ends in December. To be eligible for the L1 Creative Entrepreneurship Residency, you must possess a valid state of Illinois business license and registration and sales tax ID number, must possess a Chicago site-specific license, be 21 years age of older, eligible to receive income in the U.S. The selection of L1 residents goes through an extensive juried process. Semifinalists will go through an interview process in December 2023, and finalists will be notified in January of 2024. What makes an ideal candidate? The perfect candidates are innovative entrepreneurs who currently operate well-established, scalable businesses and aspire to extend their reach by opening physical storefronts with a strong commitment to serving primarily customers from the South Side. A few application tips. Poke around on our website and learn as much as you can about APL and L1. Follow us on social media. Learn about Silver Room. Do not start your application at the last minute. Applications must be submitted by 11:59 p.m. Central Time on Friday, October 20th at uchicago.slideroom.com. A good application shows a dedication to Southside business and an understanding of the mission of arts and public life. Ask questions. APL will do its best to answer your emails and DMs in a timely manner. Thank you and good luck applying.
The longest standing residency offered at Arts and Public Life is the Artist in Residence program administered by APL and the Center for the Study of Race, Politics, and Culture. Since 2011, the residency has supported nearly 40 artists, typically accepting 3 per cohort. The residency is for mid-career artists working in various media and disciplines, including drawing, painting, sculpture, photography, film, video, new media, installation, music, and alternative mediums. Springboarding from their time in the residency, alumni have gone on to exhibit works at prestigious museums, galleries, festivals. Alumni have enrolled in MFA programs and participated in other residencies locally and nationally. The Artist in Residence program, or AIRS for short, is a 10-month paid opportunity for Chicago-based artists with an interest and emphasis on exploring ways in which their work can impact the University of Chicago campus, community, and city alike, especially Southside communities, and even more specifically, the Washington Park neighborhood. Equally notable is that the residency is for artists whose work examines themes relevant to Southside communities and engages in issues of race and ethnicity. The partnering residency administrators are Arts and Public Life and the Center for the Study of Race, Politics, and Culture. We share many values and approaches to the work that we do. Arts and Public Life is an initiative of UChicago Arts at the University of Chicago. We're a dynamic hub of exploration, expression, and exchange that centers people of color and fosters neighborhood vibrancy through the arts on the south side of Chicago. The Center for the Study of Race, Politics, and Culture at the University of Chicago, CSRPC, is a hub of research and an incubator of anti-racist practice. CSRPC advances scholarship, arts, and public dialogue about the centrality of race and racism in the systems we inhabit. There are a number of features of the AIRS program that make it a unique and attractive opportunity for local artists. Residents receive a monthly stipend, studio space in the Arts Incubator, and a materials budget. Residents also receive access to exhibition and programming spaces along the Arts Block here in Washington Park, including the Arts Incubator, the Green Line Performing Arts Center, the Arts Lawn, and on campus, access is additionally granted at the Race Center for gatherings and small installation opportunities. UChicago Access isn't just limited to venues. People are another large part of the amazing resources that folks are connected with. And residents are connected to faculty, students, and staff during their time in the program. The public life of Arts and Public Life cannot be understated, and it's built into the foundation of the AIRS residency. Residents are supported in creating opportunities for gathering, assembly, exchange, so that audiences and community are meaningfully connected to artists during their time in the program. Staff support in arranging and securing paid studio visits to encourage in-process dialogue and inquiry. And over the course of the residency, artists will work on a project and a body of work that will be showcased in a culminating exhibition. So here's a general timeline of how you'll spend your time and be supported in the AIRS residency. So early in 2024, APL and CSRPC will make the public announcement naming the selected residents. Studios are prepped for artist move-in, and the residency begins full force around February with a welcome reception to introduce the artists to the neighborhood and campus communities. In spring, as you get acclimated, you'll spend your time researching as it pertains to the project you proposed in your application. And by summer, you'll be engrossed in studio time, however that looks for you, and you'll start to consider ways to engage community and draw folks into your work. By the final 3 months, which would be September through December, energy and effort will be focused on producing work for the culminating exhibition and hosting any associated public programs you wish to offer. This isn't a predetermined formula everyone is required to follow, but instead a nice roadmap to divide time and ensure the experience is well-rounded and touches all parts of the ecosystems of APL and CSRPC. This is not a residency that is typified by a retreat into your studio, but instead it is structured so that engagement and connection to community enrich and expand your practice. You are here to be a part of the civic life of the city and of this neighborhood. Eligibility. Who is this residency designed for, and who makes a good candidate? So the artists in residence opportunities are open to Chicago-based artists showing a strong professional working history. A variety of disciplines are accepted, including but not limited to visual arts, media, new genre, film, video, interdisciplinary arts, and sound art. International artists are welcome to apply but must be eligible to work in the United States, and artists enrolled in an academic program during the time of the residency are not eligible to apply. Expectations for the heirs. Commit to an on-site presence approximately 15 hours a week, which is why we mentioned that heirs cannot be participating in other residencies during their time in this program. Share monthly updates on their progress and process with their cohort and the residency team. Facilitate community engagement, including but not limited to artist talks, curated meals, performances, workshops, and screenings. Attend the programs and events of your fellow residents when possible. Applying. You apply using Slide Room, a free application service, and you complete it by October 20th, 2023, which is 1 month from now. So what are the elements of a good application, and what makes certain applications stand apart from the pool of other applicants? Your proposal addresses community engagement. It's not an afterthought, but a carefully considered dimension of your project. A clearly defined budget, meaning the jury is able to understand your proposed project goals because they are sufficiently and succinctly articulated. Your proposal includes a thoughtful budget that shows reasonable estimates and itemization for expenses associated with your project. Alignment with APL and CSRPC. A good application shows a deep understanding of the mission and values of Arts and Public Life and the Center for the Study of Race, Politics, and Culture. So here's a rundown of the process. All applications are reviewed by staff at CSRPC and APL. Top candidates are advanced to a jury that consists of University of Chicago faculty and staff, Ayers alum, curators, collectors, and arts administrators from across the city. The jury deliberates, and 4 to 6 semifinalists are recommended to advance to the interview round. The residency team interviews those candidates and then makes offers to 3 finalists. Applicants will be notified by mid-December 2023, and the public announcement will come in early winter of 2024. Application tips. Go on our website. Go to CSRPC's website. Poke around. Check out the social media of both entities. Prepare your written statements and files ahead of time. Fill it out ahead of the deadline. In case you encounter tech issues, you can build in time to resolve. AKA, do not procrastinate and try to do this application in one sitting. Don't forget to upload work samples or link to URLs that are not broken. So if you have questions while filling out the application, contact the residency teams at one or both of the partnering administrators, so at APL or at CSRPC. We are real people behind these email addresses and social media accounts, and we will really help you if you reach out. Thank you, and good luck applying.
The newest residency offered at Arts and Public Life is the Performance Residency at the Green Line Performing Arts Center. This residency is supported by funding from the Walter Foundation. Since 2019, the residency has supported Chicago-based BIPOC performers and cultural producers in producing new works of theater, puppetry, dance, music, and film. The Performance Residency is a 10-month opportunity for artists interested in exploring how their work impacts Southside communities. Several components of the Performance Residency make it a fantastic prospect to produce new work. Residents receive a stipend and regularly scheduled access to the Green Line for rehearsal, research, and development of their project. Each resident will have a dedicated stage manager, board operators, and theatrical designers needed to support public performances. Like other APL residencies, performance residents will be connected to UChicago faculty, students, and staff while on the arts block. Similarly, performance residents are supported by APL staff to create opportunities for exchange by meaningfully connecting to other cohort members, neighbors, and artists. Throughout the residency, artists will work on a proposed project showcased in 2 public performances. Here's a timeline to help give you an idea of how most residents spend their 10 months. Arts and Public Life will announce the performance residents in winter 2024. In February, residents will begin scheduling time at Green Line. In the spring, you will get familiar with your project you proposed in your application and spend time researching and developing it. In the summertime, residents will start opening their rehearsals and process to build audiences to support their performances. From September to December, residents will begin producing their public performances with support from Arts and Public Life staff. Eligibility. The performance residency is open to artists or artist collectives living in Chicago. Artists already enrolled in an academic program or other residencies are not eligible to apply. Organizations such as theaters are not eligible to apply. APL expects residents to commit to actively utilizing space, equipment, and staff support. This means residents should regularly be on the block. Residents will share monthly updates on their progress and process with their cohort and residency teams. Residents will produce project-aligned community engagement, including workshops, talkbacks, and open rehearsals. Lastly, we expect residents to attend the programs and events of other artists in your cohort. Apply for free using Slide Room before October 20th. So what makes an excellent application? Artists with active practices that propose an active project with community engagement aligned with Arts and Public Life's mission and values. Similarly to the Artist in Residency and L1 Creative Business Accelerator, all applications for the Performance Residency are reviewed by staff. Top candidates are advanced to a jury of staff, former residents, and other Chicago professionals whose artistic practice is rooted in community engagement. After jury deliberations and semifinalists are interviewed, all applicants will be notified before the winter holidays. Here are some application tips. Go to our website, check out our social media, and check out the artists who were performance residents last year. Also, you can preview all of the questions before you fill out the application. So please prepare your written statements and uploads ahead of time. Whatever you do, please don't wait until the last second to submit. It won't work out. If you have any questions while you're filling out the application, contact us and we'll do our best to support you. Thank you so much for your interest and have fun applying.